So in this video, I'm going to talk about what you need to start thinking about if you want to become financially free, or start making money online and take your life in that direction. Now, I'll say straight off the bat, it's not as easy as what people are probably thinking. There's a lot of hoops you've got to jump through. So if you don't want this, don't do it. Like, if you don't want to put work in, if you don't want to go and jump through a ridiculous amount of hoops and go to extreme lengths to get to where you want to be, stop now, okay? Hopefully some people clicked off the videos, but the guys that are left, let's get into it. I'm going to be telling you the first things you need to think about. So, thing number one is, if you do not solve a problem, you do not get paid. So, in other words, if you're not actively solving a huge problem for someone, there is no point in you getting paid. Like, this is why I'm against people starting like clothing brands young. Unless you've got a really creative idea or a large amount of capital, you're probably not going to make a successful clothing company. Okay, because even if you did have that amount of capital, you're also going to need the skills. You're also going to need the skills from Facebook ads, influencer marketing. You're also going to need to know how to do web design, SEO. You've got to wear so many hats within that. So to look at somebody like Ben Francis, I think that's his name, the guy that has Gymshark, like, oh, anybody can do this. Yeah, anybody can, but not everybody will, okay? So why not make it easy for yourself and solve a problem? So I'm gonna go through like the three main problems that you can solve to make money. Now, problem number one is a money problem. So this is an emotional problem, an emotional pain that people feel, especially like if they're in a business and the business isn't making the amount of money that they want to make. You could actually learn a skill that helps make that business more money, and you get paid for it. The second problem would be relationships. So relationships, I mean, it's a bit of a weird space, and not everybody thinks there's room for it, but I genuinely think that people don't even understand how big the industry is. But like helping young lads like wrap their head around how to sort of get girls, and not even in the sense of get girls, but like how to protect their mental health when you're young. Like a 20-year-old lad will probably go through a time where he's thinking, why aren't I getting women? So that's a really painful time for a 20-year-old lad. So yeah, there's a pain point you could solve. And then there is health. So health would obviously be in like a personal trainer, nutritionist, something to do with the gym, solving the problem of health, right? These are the three problems: money, relationship, health. If you can solve one of these three for an individual or a business, you can get paid a large amount of money. All right, so to me, that is a much easier and a much more profitable route to go down over selling clothes or like a retail product. Okay, if you are going to sell a retail product, sell one that solves a problem. Okay, sell one that there is actually a need for, because in this day and age, I don't believe in saturated markets. However, I also think that there's not really a need for like new clothing brands. To be honest, like there's enough clothing brands out there. I don't need clothes. Okay, I can go to like River Island, or I can literally go anywhere and get clothes. They're everywhere. Okay, so think something different. Think about providing a service that solves a problem. Now, I'm going to go for a few more examples of something you could actually go and research on YouTube right now. So a money solving problem, right? So a skill that you could learn in order to do that would be Facebook ads. You could learn how to do Facebook ads. You could then approach businesses and say, I can run your Facebook ads for you and make you more revenue, and do it, okay? Next, relationships. You could find a niche of like a type of person that needs help in relationships. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be like young lads that are trying to pull. This could literally be something like, this could be people in business. So like how to better your business relationships, how to better your communications, like sales. If you're good at selling, if you've been in a sales role, think, wait, I could just train other people to sell. Like, why can you do that? That solves relationships and it solves money, okay? They can be paired together. Health. A lot of your health problems might be due to like a bad relationship. So if you're like a personal trainer, there's also an element of that where you're going to have to be sort of not being a shoulder to cry on, but supporting your clients emotionally as well, and that's also going to solve that relationship problem. So they do sort of tie into each other at points as well. But yeah, that would be something to go down with the relationships. And then when it comes to health, the most obvious answer to that is become a PT. But like, not everybody wants to become a PT, and when most people first become a PT, they have no idea what they're doing. So there is like an education involved in that, where you need to actually learn how to be a PT. Then you need to learn how to market yourself as a PT, and you also need to learn how to sell. And yeah, there's a whole journey along with that. Like there is with any of these things, you're not just going to start doing something, especially if you've got no money. You're not just going to start doing something and just make money straight away. There's going to be a bit of a time where you're going to be figuring things out. You're going to be figuring out, okay, that's how this works. That's how I run a Facebook ad. And then you're going to, trade that skill off for money and solve that problem. The worst thing that you can do is procrastinate on this for a while. I would just pick something, take action, go for it, and then whatever happens, happens. If it works out, great, you've got a business, you've got something to scale then, you've got something to make you financially free. If it doesn't, fine, move on to the next thing. Don't spend too long. If you're doing something and then you think, I hate this is shit, it's not working, do something else. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with quitting and moving on to the next thing. I can sit and tell you right now that the first thing that I tried was Amazon FBA. Didn't have enough money, so it didn't work. Second thing I tried was drop shipping. Didn't have enough money, but it did work. I did actually make a little bit of money doing that, and that's where I kind of learned my Facebook ad skills. But then my product got fatigued, and I didn't know how to scale. I didn't know how to put on a new offer to make it sell still. So I ended it, took my profits and left. So that was basically a failure. The next thing after that, what was it? I'm pretty sure I went into I started doing handstand classes. So, you can kind of group this in with a fitness class. It's basically the same thing. But I was teaching people how to do handstands in a class format. And then COVID hit, so I was actually forced to take that online, which was an absolute blessing for me, because then I learned how to provide an online coaching service. And then I was helping personal trainers do the same thing, and now I've got the coaching business. And then through that I also learned how to do another section of Facebook ads, which is lead generation. So then I could offer that to businesses as well, like funnel building and website building and that kind of thing. And then I started my agency, and that's what I'm sticking with now. I plan to scale my agency to 7 figures a year, so that's $1 million a year. And I plan to scale my coaching business to 7 figures a year too. So yeah, I've now set on my journey to keep going. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to be a millionaire this time next year, but I can guarantee within the next 5 to 10 years, without a doubt, I'll be a millionaire. And you can do the same thing. You don't have to sit there and be like, well, why can't I do this? Because you can. You've just literally got to figure out what it is you want to do and take action on it. And through that, you'll figure out, okay, is this something I want to keep doing? It's probably not going to be. The first thing you try probably isn't going to be the thing that you stick with, and that's fine. Don't get bummed out by people, you just need to stick to one thing. That's shit advice. Just, if people aren't trying to get to the same point that you are, and they're giving you advice, you're an idiot for listening. Just fuck them off. Stop listening to even your parents. I don't think that's a realistic thing. I remember when I first said, okay, I want to make this amount off this thing, and my mum was like, I don't think that's a realistic thing, and my dad was like, I don't think that's realistic. And in my head I was like, oh, well, maybe it's not then. So then I stopped trying as hard. I would have been more likely to hit that if they hadn't said that to me, or if that hadn't been put in my head. And I was too susceptible to that. Whereas now, if somebody says, is that realistic? I go, what the fuck do you know, mate? If they're not researching it, if they're not in the space, they're not gonna have a clue. Okay, surround yourself, start listening to people like myself, and other entrepreneurs online. Obviously I'm nowhere near on the same level, but there's Alex Hormozy you can go and listen to. There's Alex Becker you can go and listen to. In terms of a few smaller YouTubers, self-help type people, there's First Man, who's someone I've listened to for a year now, and he's really good. And then there's Hamza, who's on the rise right now. So yeah, go and listen to those kind of people. Stop being a twat. That's basically it from me. Subscribe to this channel, and yeah.